Hi, my name is Janis. I'm from Germany. I love Edison Format. And after Exodia made some waves in Modern, I thought, hey, let's give it a run in Edison as well. I've built my very own Exodia deck, which I like a bit more than these Dragon, Discard, White Stone, and whatever that is. Yeah, you'll see in a second. First off, don't know if you can read this. Shout out to the agency. And yeah, let's hop right into the replays. First replay I've got for you is here. And wait, give me a second. Let's do this and this. Okay, so let's go. As you can see, appropriate. We drew into it immediately on the start hand, which is really, really good. And if you don't see appropriate, you will lose the duel. So small warning, this deck is surprisingly good for Exodia deck, and maybe it can be made even more consistent. I don't know. But it's still an Exodia deck. It's jank. Yeah, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. You're probably not going to win your local with this type of deck. So let's see. Our opponent, they start there on a Blackwings. And yeah, let's see how this is going out. And they also does shoot us, but I think that's okay. Yeah, we shuffle back the Brow because that's our only monster in the hand. Use the upstart. And now we pray that this appropriate will stick. And looking at their hand, it probably will stick. Appropriate, for those of you who don't know, it's a really interesting card because every time your opponent draws, you draw 2. But you have to make them draw once to activate this card, and you don't draw off this first drawing. So let's see what we're doing here. Is Book of Eclipse, set all their monsters. Book of Eclipse, setting all their monsters. Now in the end phase, the monsters get flipped back up. And our opponent, they draw 1 card for each flipped up monster. So they draw 2, and we can activate our appropriate. We don't draw off it yet, but now it's live, and now we are balling. Cup of Ace. Let's see what we roll. I think I always, I don't know, 80% I want tails. So our opponent's got to draw, but I don't think they get to another turn here. Because they draw, that means we draw. So we draw. Thunder Dragon. A bit more of deck thinning. Also, we get discard fodder for hand destruction. So that's what we are going to do here. Get 2 brand new cards, and because our opponent, you saw, he drew. So we are going to draw as well. Hand destruction again, and I think we don't even need to pot, probably, yeah, appropriate. Sometimes you need to discard Exodia pieces. In that case, Pot of Avarice is crucial in getting them back, but I'm pretty confident that, yeah, like with card destruction, for example, which is now dead after we discarded the 1 copy of Pot. Yeah, discard 1 Bro and draw even more. And our opponent drew, so we draw as well. So now we have another Cup of Ace. I think it's Tails again. It is Tails again. I don't know. I think Dueling Book was probably bullshitting me, so yeah. Let's go. They draw, they disconnected, and yeah, I don't know what. I think you both disconnected. I think that was the problem, and then I think it should be the same draw. We didn't draw, but the same coin flip, or we didn't saw the first one. I don't know, but it's Tails again. Doesn't matter. They draw, we draw. Now we Dark World dealing, discarding a Brow so we can draw even more, and because they draw a card, we get to draw 3 cards in total. Now we Cup of Ace to draw the next 2 cards. Our opponent, they draw as well. You know the story by now. Tails it is. We draw, Dark World dealings, and yeah. Now we just set all the Reckless Greed. And in their draw, then we discard for hand size, and in their draw phase, we just Reckless Greed 3 times, and that's Exodia. The head, the right arm, the left arm, left leg and right leg. So yeah, game 1 goes to us, and because I want to be honest with you, this deck is not a top tier deck. Let's just go for fast forward. And yeah, you'll see if we can repeat our success against this Blackwing player. Because yeah, this time, do we get to appropriate? That's the first problem. And we do get to it. 3 Exodia pieces in the starting hand is not ideal. You usually want to draw them later. So yeah, we magical mallet. Maybe we get to how's it called? A dark bribe to protect the appropriate. We don't, and the Icarus attack us. I think that's GG. Let's see if we can come back. Probably not with that type of hand. We gotta draw another appropriate and something to make it live. So yeah, as you can see, this deck is very, very easy to intercept. But it's fast. Like usually you start like in your first or second turn. Like in a second turn, you gotta set the appropriate. That's another weak point. Here we set everything that we want to use. Then we use card destruction because Brow will allow us to draw one more. Vortex Trooper is live here, but yeah, we Mallet first. Now we Vortex, but we need this appropriate. Another Mallet, but I decided to wait one turn, stack my hand a bit more with all these backless greed and the Vortex draw, and now we draw off of this and we got to appropriate. So yeah, that's pretty good. 1 dark bribe as well. So let's see if that is working out. I keep this one to track turns, but they Icarus attack. Will they hit the appropriate? I hit it here and they don't, but they hit a dark bribe, which also is spooky. So let's see. Funny enough, I just seen the chat that I wrote let's see there as well. So live reaction. Like whirlwinds, yeah, they want to hit us down now. They also have a deck devastation virus, which is also pretty annoying for us. And I think is this, yeah, with Kalut, this is just game. But here I made one mistake. I could have activated, like when they went to battle phase, I could have activated hand destruction. Yeah, kind of anticipating that they might have gained through Kalut. So if I would have done that, I could have prevented them going for game. But yeah, I didn't. And I mean, fair enough. Maybe they didn't have Kalut. Maybe I would have made them draw into it. But yeah, if we would have gotten this hand destruction, like the appropriate life, we had Cup of Ace to draw, we had Dark World Dealings to draw, we had Mallet to reshuffle all these extra draws. I'm pretty confident that we would have won. Yeah, should have activated hand destruction here, show my opponent. And yeah. Okay, so next replay. Let's do it like this. And here we are up against an insect deck. I'm really intrigued by the idea of insect decks. They always seem not bad, and I want to give it a try. Here I misclick my opponent, let me take it back, which is really nice of them. I feel a bit not so good about it because that might won me the game, but I usually like small like misclicks or messing up in sequencing or something, I let my opponent take that back as well. So yeah. Okay, we haven't seen not dark world dealing appropriate yet, so that is a problem. Maybe this game it didn't really even matter that they let us take it back. So we reckless greed here, we need appropriate, and we need it as fast as possible. Vortex Trooper will allow us to stack our hand once more. So, like, our hand is very stacked. Okay, now we get another shot with card destruction, but we have a lot of cards that we really want to use. Yeah, with appropriate. Like, I don't think we can give up everything here. I give up on these Dark World Dealings, which is spooky because If we run out of scheme, even if we got to appropriate, that's a problem, but we don't even get to appropriate, so, and we can't draw because of also called now the mind control. We don't even get to draw of Vortex Trooper. And yeah, I also, maybe I should have kept the Book of Tayu because this is just game. Okay, yeah, so taking back this one, my first action didn't really matter. So this time we do open appropriate. Like this deck, it will lose some games because of not seeing appropriate. It will just steamroll other games when you have appropriate, probably this one to back it up. Save it from Mystical Space Typhoon or Heavy Storm or anything like that. Here we just take the hit. Hand Destruction, funnily enough, appropriate when you activate it, it's a when effect. So it can miss timing. So Dark World Dealings, for example, lets you draw first and then you discard. So you can't activate appropriate out of Dark World Dealings. But once it's activated, it's an if effect. Doesn't even say if, but yeah, have a look at it. I just realized. So once it's activated, it doesn't care about the order, but Hand Destruction, for example, can activate appropriate, but Dark World Dealings can't. So here we just thin our deck of one of the Thunder Dragons, activate the Hand Destruction, and this will make our appropriate life. We can protect it with double Dark Bribe. We have Book of Eclipse if they go for a big push. I also set a Reckless Greed just to have the access to it next turn. I think here I just go for Book of Eclipse. And they emergency teleport, and I decided I have one more Dark Bribe in case they have Space Typhoon or anything like that. So let's go for one Dark Bribe. And yeah, let's get us drawing, because otherwise our hand is a bit empty. So we need some fuel to get the appropriate going. And now that I see them do this, I think, yeah, okay, the Book of Tayu, they want to prevent us to draw off Book of Tayu, so I decided, they were a bit fast here, told them to wait. So I decided to Dark Bribe that, and now we can draw off appropriate. This gets flipped up, they draw one, we draw two of appropriate. I mean, this was a bit risky. If they drew into a Mystical Space Typhoon, that would have been probably GG, but they didn't, so never punished. Here we sided in Burial in case they go for a Crow. And yeah, we start with the Mallet, stack our hands. Now upstart Goblin probably. Always upstart first when you have it. Vortex Trooper. Now we can go Dark World Dealings, we have a Brow, and you saw, I see, we're just going to draw our deck here. So, Cup of Ace, and it's Tails again. I told you, it's always Tails. I don't know, maybe Dueling Book and seeing that you're an Exodia, and they're like, nope, no heads for you, just Tails. I don't know. I feel cheated. First head, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I played a few more games, which I lost because some of these games I hadn't had out, like, played against Gravekeepers and they had Necro Valley face up, and I realized I don't even have Space Typhoon in the side, and I have no way of getting rid of the Necro Valley, and once the Exodia piece hits the graveyard, it's over because I can't add it back with Pot of Avarice. So I had to kind of adjust my deck. Like, it was just more in the testing phase. See what we still need to hedge against. And in those, I also always get heads. As you can see, we are just doing our draw stuff. Let's just go fast to it. Cup of Ace, I don't have to click every time, right? Tails, I tell you. And we draw. Dark World Dealing. Let's draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Upstart, and 2 cards left in deck. Reckless Greed, that's Exodia. Okay, game 3. Can we repeat it? Let's have a look. Upstart Goblin, Thunder Dragon to stack our hand. Have some discard fodder for hand destruction. Let's go for the hand destruction. Upstart, we need to see a Procreate. I go for even more hand destruction. Magical Method gives us another shot. But our hand is pretty thin at this point. But we got Dark World Dealings, Cup of Ace, so that's working out. I go for Dark Bribe, I think. I don't know, I could have just Cup of Ace here. And I think here we get head. Like here, no, it's tails. Okay, that's fine. We don't get to draw to, but... Alright. Wait. Do I remember this game correctly? Maybe not. So we Dark Bribe, but they Dark Bribed us back. So we lost our Appropriate. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We got another Appropriate though. And a Dark Bribe. So let's see. Here. Yeah, we Dark. I don't know. I think there was a misunderstanding. Yeah. I remember. Okay, yeah. I wanted to Dark Bribe, but then I banished and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I wanted to Dark Bribe, but I admit that I messed up my sequencing, so I just surrendered. But if I Dark Bribe the Nobleman of Crossout, that would have activated the Appropriate, and then we had Cup of Ace in hand. Probably, it's not safe, but I think we would have gotten to Exodia. So yeah, I messed that up. I was too much tunnel vision, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, last replay. So yeah, 2 games lost, or 2 matches lost, with 2 games where we potentially had a shot at, but wouldn't have messed it up. So yeah, that's all I can deliver. Like I said, it's not a top tier deck. It's truly not. Here we opened up Appropriate, so this time it is a top tier deck. And what do they have in the reverse? That doesn't matter at all. Thunder Dragon to thin the decks, get an extra card in hands. Now we can go for hand destruction. And I don't know why they were thinking here. But this activates our Appropriate, and here we go. We start with Dark World Dealings. We have a Brow, so we can draw 3. Then rule of thumb, I always go for the upstart Goblins Burst. Let's do it like this. Upstart. Cup of Ace. What will it be? It's tails. I told you. So we're going to draw Cup of Ace. What will it be? It's tails again. Yeah. I don't know what they were doing here. And here I go for card destruction because that will allow me to draw 1 more of Brow and stick deep into the deck. I said everything else that I want to activate after. So yeah, now we go for Cup of Ace, and it is tails. I don't know. I tell me, is this normal? Is this still statistically not significant? Yeah, hand destruction, Appropriate, and here we drop the Exodia on board. So we got all the pieces. We drew our whole deck, assembled Exodia. Okay, this was really funny as well because we almost opened the complete Exodia. But yeah, this hand, like here, I mean, we probably have a fair shot to just draw the last piece, but if we don't draw it, the fact that we have so many cards that don't do anything here, so if we don't get to mallet or something, yeah, that's probably GG. Yeah, pretty unlikely to open 4 Exodia pieces, but it would happen. We play these 5 bricks. So let's just have a look. Thunder Dragon to thin out the deck, increase the hand size. Now we kind of rely on this Cup of Ace. And it's tails again. If this would have been head... Okay, we can't see the next cards that we... Let's have a look at the next cards that we draw. Would that have made a difference. So now we gotta survive, draw last Exodia piece. That's the only shot we have. They start beating us down. Hand destruction, so we can get rid of these appropriate. Yeah. So our next two cards would have been hand destruction and appropriate. If we drew this out of cup of ace and they didn't draw, yeah, it was a 50-50. Am I in? It was a 20-80 apparently with my luck, but yeah, I don't know. So we dark ripe here, but they have Happy Storm, so yeah, that's just GG. So they beat us down, make a big board, and I show them, yeah. But as you saw, we were far off from the last piece. So 1-1. Last duel that I'm going to show you. We open Mallet. Can we get to appropriate? We can, with 1 Reckless, 1 Dark Bribe. So they have pulling the rug. Okay, and here they did something funny, they told me. They removed a lot of monsters from the deck with the idea that they would just set their whole hand, and then I can't use card destruction on them, and not card destruction, hand destruction, because they need to have 2 cards in hand in order for me to activate hand destruction. So that was their plan, and I think that's a really creative counterplay they came up with. But they made one mistake. You'll see. They set their hands everything but Mask of Restrict. I don't even know why they have the Mask of Restrict. Do we tribute anything? I think we don't. So yeah, it's probably just to have more spells and traps to be able to set them. I think that's the whole point of bringing a Mask of Restrict. But you will see the mistake that they make. We Reckless Greed here, and now we upstart Goblin. Now we Cup of Ace, making our appropriate not life, because we draw head. Here wanted to have tails, but... Wait, yeah, mistakenly. I just activated because I was like, yeah, tails, it's always tails, but yeah, not this time. Let's go to this step by step. Here we have a Kaiku, and they bottomless it, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, let's go for the Dark Bribe. And now they have 2 cards in hand. So now our hand destruction, which wasn't live before, is suddenly live. So yeah, we get to appropriate, and yeah, our hand destruction is usable. You have to discard 1 Exodia piece, 1 Brow. And the Kaiku, why is the Kaiku here? The Kaiku is here to prevent them from DD-crowing us, because with all these Cup of Ace and hand destruction, they will draw a lot of cards as well. If they sighted in the DD-crow, they will probably see it. So yeah, Kaiku, kinda MVP here. We had the, how's it called? Burial from a different dimension, but I'm not even sure if they shame Crow to Pot of Avarice, banish 1, and then we activate Burial from a different dimension and put it back. I think Pot of Avarice is not working, right? Because it forgot that the card that got banished and then put back in, that it's the original card it targeted, right? So it needs its original target. Let me know in the comments if you know how that would work out. From my understanding, I would believe that Pot of Avarice is not working after it got crowed and then the banished card gets put back in. But let me know if you know more. And yeah, let's just fast forward this. Hand destruction, get rid of the appropriate. Now Thunder Dragon, yeah, get our hand even bigger. Hand destruction, get rid of the Thunder Dragons, right? Yes. Here we get this back, get these Exodia pieces and the Thunder Dragons back. Yeah, Burial, doesn't even need it here. Mallet, yeah, draw a bunch, use 1, 2. We could have shuffled back with Mallet as well for the Thunder Dragons, but doesn't even matter right here. Yeah, upstart first, then we probably Dark World Dealings, draw 1 extra of Brow, 2 of Appropriate, so 3 cards drawn here. Cup of Ace, what will it be? It's heads again. So yeah, it seems like the streak ended. Now we're getting beheads. It doesn't really matter because they can't cross anyway. Here's another tail. but tails, right? That's how you say it in English. Now we activate Dark Bribe, and yeah, that's Exodia. Right here, all 5 pieces. If we wouldn't have been, we had actually, yeah, okay, Dark Wolf Dealings would have let us draw 1 more and then 2 of appropriate. So yeah, we could have drawn the last 3 cards of our deck as well. So yeah, it's a fun deck. If you want to play something funny, I think for an Exodia deck, it still has some interaction. Like, I don't know, there's this interaction with Crow and Kaiku and Burial. And then you need to set appropriate. It has to live 1 turn, so if your opponent gets to destroy that, if they have Royal Decree, if they have Icarus Attack in the Stickle Space Typhoon, Heavy Storm, anything like that, but you have Dark Bribe to prevent that. So yeah, there's still some interaction going, so it's not just playing solitary. So if you want to try that, I'll show you the deck list. We timed out. Sure, let's log back in, skip intro, deck constructor, and here's the deck. Yeah, Book of Eclipse. Did I call this Book of Tayu all the time? Probably. So yeah, sorry for that. Book of Eclipse. Reckless Greed, 3 appropriate, 3 Dark Bribe. I was on 2 before and 2 to Book of Eclipse, but Dark Bribe I feel is way more important. You could cut 1 Brow if you want to cut something. These, I think, they're always pretty nice to have, but I think 2 is fine. Because, yeah, you don't get too many turns to normal summon anyway, so if you draw 2, the other one is usually a brick. In the side deck, I think the relevant cards is like this for Necro Valley specifically. This one as well, also for maybe Royal Decree. Hero's Rule number 2 to prevent Crow. This one is anti-banishing as well. This one is anti-banishing, but if you want to summon this, you can't normal summon this, so there's a trade-off. Chainsaw Insect is also a card that you theoretically could use to make appropriate life. Destiny Hero Defender could help you stall and make your opponent draw a card for appropriate, so yeah, this one, under appropriate, it all is just like a Cup of Ace in a sense, but you have to set it, so it's not as good as Cup of Ace. So yeah, I think relevant cards here are Burial, Space, Garden, Hero's Rule, and Kaiku. The other stuff I never sided, and I don't know. So in the side deck, there's still room to build and improve. Let me know in the comments if you see even further improvements with this deck, if you have ideas for even more draw power. Maybe like you place 1 Bro and Bro, how do you pronounce that? I don't know. Magical Mallet. Also, let's do it like this. Okay, this looks a bit better. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, that's the deck. Have fun with it. If you want to see more janky decks, if you want to see more, like, some of my janky decks are not even that janky. Some of them, I think, are rogue tier. And maybe someday I'll present you with something, like I believe I presented you with something that has the potential to break into the meta with the Ancient Gear Hero deck, for example. Also my Ancient Gear Mausoleum deck, I think it's a good rogue tier deck as well. Maybe with even more potential. So if you want to see that, if you want to get inspired in Edison, or if you just want to see janky decks in action, yeah, subscribe. And also leave a like, because that's a really, really important thing for the algorithm, and I want to grow this channel, so that would help me out. If you want to support an Edison YouTuber, if you like Edison, consider leaving a like. Shoutouts to the agency again. The agency provides, and see you in the next one. Bye.